Okay, well, I'm back. It's a different day. It's not the next day. If you saw my last video, you saw that I hurt my back after I found that heavy-duty nugget, that $1,000 nugget. If you want to see the $1,000 nugget, yeah, be sure and look at my last video. I got that $1,000 nugget, and then I went and did some stuff afterwards, hefting around some heavy LPG tanks, propane tanks, and it just was too much for my old back. Anyway, I'm a lot better now. I'm out digging, and it's afternoon again. I came out this morning and I went around and I dug some trash, and well, you know, I didn't film any of that, and you know, I don't really feel bad about not filming when I'm digging a bunch of trash. But I'm back on this big nugget patch, and I have a target. I have a target this time. Instead of the low-high signal for a large target, ooh-wee, ooh-wee, this one is a high-low, wee-oo, wee-oo. And that wee-oo sound, it generally is smaller targets, but it has other factors that are involved. So if you have gold that's more porous or more specimen-y or has more rock in it, more iron oxides in between the gold will not give a response that goes low-high. It'll give a high-low sound. This is a really loud target, and I actually gave up on it before lunch. In other words, I said to myself, look, I'll finish this target after lunch and I'll bring you guys in, right? That's what I thought. And I actually am, because there's big roots in the hole, I brought my SDC 2300 down. So, and I have two detectors trying to sort through this hole. The one thing that the GPZ 7000, you know, it's got a big coil, and when you're trying to pinpoint things really exactly with that big coil, it can be hard. And because I've got big roots, I mean, they're like 2 and 3 inch diameter roots in the hole. And if I have to dig up the roots, I will. Usually if you just have roots that are ½ inch or an inch, you just take your pick and chop them out, right? But 2 and 3 inch roots, and there's actually one of each. There's like a 3 incher and a 2 incher right next to it. That's not an easy thing to chop out with a pick. And so I actually brought down my little battery powered chainsaw, which I have for when I'm going on roads and the roads are all overgrown and I need to cut back some of the brush that's encroached on the road. That's what I have that for. But hey, if I need to cut a root out of a hole, it can do that too, right? And so I've got that with me, and I've got my SDC with me. I brought them down from the truck, and so I'm ready to do with those. And so let's go over now, and I'm going to take the SDC and work on pinpointing it a little more, and then I'm going to dig a little bit more with my pick, and then if we really have to cut roots with a chainsaw, well, I guess that's what we're going to do. Because this thing, you know, it's down already maybe 10 to 12 inches, which, you know, usually when you get down that deep, your chances of gold go way up. You know, it always could be trash. You never know where you might find deep trash, and I certainly have found my share of deep trash. But it sounds good, and it's this real loud high-low signal. It's either going to be something like a tin can or you know, thin sheet iron, or it's going to be gold. And because it's kind of below the roots, and these are big roots, they're old roots, I'm betting for gold. So let's go over there and find out what it is, and I can dig it on camera and you guys can see it with me, okay? Let's do it. Okay, here's my hole, and there's a big root right here, right there, and another big root right here. And they're not as small as they look. They're pretty good sized roots. So I'm trying to dig the target and see where it's pinpointing. I'm going to get out my SDC 2300. Now, one of the things I want to show you about the SDC with its smaller coil is that it wouldn't have heard this. This target is in the hole. You don't hardly hear anything. Very, very, very faint. That wouldn't have... It seems to be... It seems like it might be right under this root. So... And that's where it's hard to pinpoint. That's why I turn it on edge. So you're turning the coil on edge. The biggest, the strongest fields come vertically out the coil. They come up and down out of the coil, but weak fields come out of the edge. And so if you're wanting to use it for pinpointing, so kind of right in here is where the target is. I'm going to turn the SDC off and we're going to dig for a bit. All right, well I'm gonna actually dig a little bit more and not quite get out the chainsaw yet. It'd be a whole lot easier if I can just dig it. Okay, it looks like I have no choice but to cut these roots out. And just in case somebody would be concerned that I'm, you know, killing a tree or something like that, this area was burned really badly, and the tree that these roots are to is about 10 feet away, and it's burnt to a crisp and completely dead. So I'm cutting out dead roots. I'm not cutting out something that's alive and I'm going to injure it or hurt it or kill it, because it can't be killed. It's already dead. So I'm putting oil on the chain by hand. Okay, that opens up that dead root. Now I'm going to have to dig to open up the other one a little bit. Okay, it should be right under there. Oh, there's the target. It was a deep nail. Ah! Oh, what a disappointment. A deep nail. Well, that's detecting for you. You know, when you dig a deep hole, your odds of getting gold are better, but there's no 100% odds. You know, your odds get better, but there's never any guarantees, because sometimes you end up with a big nail. Okay, I have another target here. Let me let you listen to it. All right, let's dig it and see what we got. Okay, that target was that little piece of wire, rusty wire. Sounded okay, but that's the thing, you know, without discrimination, you just don't know what it is, and you've got to dig it all. There's really not a choice with no discrimination. And that's what you got on the 7000. Okay, well, here I got a low-high signal. But it's just a single one, so it's deep for that target. We'll see what it is. I'll be a lot more excited once we get down a ways and if it's still in there and getting louder. But it may be shallow trash, so let me dig it and see what we got. It's a low-high signal. More common for iron to give low-high signals than gold. But big gold will do just that. Well, I'm back for a second day. You know, some of you may say, well, I got nothing yesterday. Why are you back in the same place for a second day? Well, let me tell you, the last 3 days I've been out here prospecting, and they're not consecutive. I didn't do them consecutively, but I got the first of the last 3 days, I got a 5.3 gram nugget. The second of the last 3 days here, I've got a 13.5 gram nugget. And so and then yesterday, of course, nothing. My big target of the day was a very deep rusty nail, which, you know, deep trash happens. You just got to accept it. And anyway, so then I got one day where I got nothing. So I still have confidence that I can find something nice and something big. And you know, it's like I say, it's a patch that still has lots of room for exploration, lots of area that I need to cover with my metal detector. And so, you know, I'm here for a reason. And there's still good gold to be found. So, you know, I'm confident that today will be a better day, and I'm going to be out checking and look. So come along with me. Let's do day 2 instead of my lucky yellow shirt. One of the commenters said my yellow shirt was lucky. I'm here with my lucky salmon colored shirt. So let's give it a try and find some gold this time. Well, here I have a target that's at least not in the surface stuff, because almost always the surface stuff is the surface, the very surface level is going to be trash. But on the other hand, I gotta say, I have found gold that's near and right on the surface. That's a rare occasion, but it does happen. Now this one, let me give you a hear to it. Let me give you a listen to it so you can hear it. It gets a little bit squirrely sounding, so it could be trash. You know, if it's deeper down, it just improves the odds that it's gold, as we proved yesterday, that there can be really deep targets that heartbreakingly are trash. But we're hoping that today we're doing better, so we're going to dig this one and keep our fingers crossed that it's going to be gold. Let me pull it out of the hole. And that target, it wasn't that far down. Turned out to be a little rusty piece of something. I don't know, it's got screw threads on it, so maybe it's a chunk of a screw or something. Anyway, rusty junk, on to the next target. Well, I've got down through the surface. I'm down a couple of 2+ inches, and it's still there. And it's sounding better, and still a single sound. You know, it doesn't give the double tone for a near target, which is implying that it's down a lot deeper. Here, I'll give you a listen. It's definitely gotten louder, but deeper and louder, that's good. Again, we proved yesterday that there is such a thing as deep trash. So, you know, you keep your hopes up, and then you keep digging until you see what the target is. Okay, I'm down maybe close to 8 inches, 7 or 8 inches, and it's still in the hole. But it's screaming, it's loud, and it's still a down up signal. It's either deep trash again or it's gold. And the odds are better for gold. Like I say, I'm only about 10 feet from where I dug it was a 5.3 gram nugget. I'm about 10 feet from this spot. And like I say, maybe a little farther, 50 feet or 40, 50 feet, something like that, from one that I dug that was a little over 6 grams. So I'm hoping gold. I'm really hoping for gold.
And if it is gold, it's a big piece. It's probably bigger than the 5 or the 6 to be able to give that solid down up signal. Nugget patch with big nuggets. That's not a bad thing to find. Let's keep digging. We got to get it out of the hole. I'm getting excited. We got to get it out of the hole. We got to get it out and see it. See if it's a disappointment or if it's gold. And there it is. I got it. I got my reward. I got the other thing from digging deep trash. I got the deep big gold. That's a nice chunky piece, and it'll clean up real nice. I'm guessing, just a field guess, about 7-8 grams, something like that. We'll of course weigh it when we get back to the house, but I cleaned it up and get some of the dirt off. I'll show you a picture of it a little more clean than it is here in the field. But hey, I got my gold. That's a trip making nugget, and got skunked on the first day, but hey, the gold come through. My detector came through, and I got the nugget the next day. So persistence, that's what's important. And we got gold and a nice piece. And it's still pretty early in the morning. I'll be looking around here and seeing if I can't find some more. There's a bunch of branches on the ground here. I may move a lot of that stuff and try and get underneath it rather than try and go over the top of the branches. Because the fire came through here and there's a lot of dead branches on the ground. And either you got to move the branches or you got to swing over the top of them. And since I've found this nice nugget here, I think it's well worth moving some branches just to see what I can find, if anything, underneath them. But we got gold. Hey! It's a good stuff.
And here's a close-up view of that nugget out in the field with a little bit of the dirt washed off, at least an initial cleaning. It's still got plenty of dirt on it, but you can see it's a beautiful piece with nice lines and a lot of character, and I was real pleased. Here it is more thoroughly cleaned up and on the scale, and 8.8 grams, that's a nice nugget. It comes out to be 0.28 ounces, troy ounces. Digging a nugget like this certainly makes digging a little bit of deep trash like that nail worthwhile. And, for a 2-day hunt, almost 9 grams, that works out to be a pretty good average, 4+ grams a day. So I'm real pleased with that. And here's all the gold I've got off that patch since I found it in, mid-July. I've only been out there a few times just because I have other commitments and that sort of thing. But still, it's yielded over 40 grams, which is almost 1.3 ounces. So a lot of guys don't do enough searching for new patches and are disappointed when they keep crumbing and going back over the same ground over and over and over again, and maybe only getting a few small flakes here and there. It's going out and exploring that really gets the good results, the big nuggets and that sort of thing. And a lot of guys just don't do that. Now, this nugget, the almost 9 gram nugget that I got it early enough in the day that I still had time to hunt. So let's see if I could find some more.
Well, it's hard to believe, but I've got a second down-up target. Kind of a down-up target. And again, I'm a short distance from a spot where I found a 6 gram nugget, and I'm only 20 feet from where I just dug the other big nugget. So I'll give you a listen to this one. Sounds very similar to the other one right at the surface. We'll see if we can dig down a lot, and if it gets louder. It could be amazing if I got another big nugget today. That'll be pretty impressive. Let's see. It could be trash, of course. Let's see what it is. Still in the hole and sounding better. It's starting to give a double signal, like we're not that far from it. So let's see what we got. Okay, it's out of the hole. So time to find it in the pile. I'm starting to guess more that this is going to be trash, but let's see. We've already got it out of the hole. And there's my target, a piece of wire. It's not gold. it's rusty trash. But I've already got a nice nugget, so I ain't going to complain. I've had a great day no matter what I find the rest of the day. I keep looking, and you got to dig those targets.
Well, see, that was a good day. You get out, even though you get skunked, you get out, and then the next day you end up with nice gold. And you saw me dig it. You saw it when it was first out of the ground. It was exciting. And, even if this whole trip was just that nugget, I still would be very pleased. And so, it all worked out. I had a day where I didn't find anything, but I had the stick-to-itiveness, the persistence to get out and try again. And that's one of the things I want to say to guys that are thinking about taking up prospecting, taking up metal detecting for nuggets. There's gold out there to be found. I've shown you it is. There's no doubt about it. But it ain't easy. And if you can't accept having some days where all you dig is trash, you're going to give up too fast. And that's the problem. There's a lot of guys that just give up too fast. And it takes a while to learn. It's a skill. It's something that takes experience and knowledge. I mean, I've been out here metal detecting for nuggets for a long, long time. And, I didn't start out finding gobs of gold. It took time. And I've learned a lot literally over many decades. More than 40 years I've been doing stuff like this. And so I wrote a book that will help impart to you those skills that you need to go out and be successful in finding gold. And if you want to learn more about that, well, I wrote this book called Fistful of Gold. It has what you need to know to find your own gold. And I'm going to tell you a little bit more about my book right now. This is my book, Fistful of Gold. It's an encyclopedia of everything you need to know to go out and find gold for yourself. It distills down my 45 years of experience out in the field prospecting, as well as my degree in mine engineering. It's, like I say, an encyclopedia. There's a lot to it. It's over 250,000 words long, hundreds of pages with hundreds of illustrations, teaching you what you need to know about geology, about mining districts, about techniques of finding gold. It covers metal detectors, sluicing, panning, dry washing, high bankers, you name it, it's covered in there. It talks some about platinum and diamonds, but it's mostly about gold because gold is more widespread. It is not so much a book about where to find gold, but a book about how to find gold. Because even if you have a location where gold was mined in the past and you go out there, well, where should you look to be successful in your prospecting, to find the gold that's there? This is the book that's going to tell you that information. I spent most of 10 years writing this book, so I thought a long time about it. It's got, like I say, lots of information and lots of illustrations, and I've had results from people who bought it. It's available on Amazon, but I recommend buying it through High Plains Prospectors, and I'll put a link in the description for buying this book through them. They have a better price than Amazon, and I have a special deal that I'll tell you a little bit more about, where you can get a 5% discount from the price even with that. On Amazon, the book rates a 4.7 out of 5, which means that of all the people that have bought it, they've been really highly satisfied, and I think you, if you buy my book, will be just as highly satisfied as well. Now let's talk a little bit more about High Plains Prospectors. They're a prospecting shop, a mail order prospecting shop that I've partnered with. The deal is that I can get you a 5% discount, a coupon code, and I'm going to put the code to that right here. It's just Chris Ralph, all caps with no space between Chris and Ralph. You put that in there as a discount code and you'll get 5% off their already really good prices. I think it's a great deal where you win by getting a discount, I get a little percentage of that, and they get new business. So if you need prospecting supplies, High Plains is really the way to go. And I'll put information, like I say, in the description more about how you can work with them, because I'm working with them. They really are great guys, a great company.
For even more information, I also have a website, and I'm going to show you my webpage and talk a little bit more about that right now.
This is my webpage. It's located at NevadaOutbackGems.com. You can Google it, or I have a link down in the description below. But there's lots of information here, miscellaneous stuff, pictures, some historic information as well, stories. It's got a lot of great fun stuff. You'll probably be interested in it.
Now, on all of my YouTube videos, I encourage you guys to ask questions. If you have thoughts, comments, suggestions for things that I ought to look at in my videos, things that you want to find out more about, and I answer 100% of my questions. There's not very many YouTubers out there that answer 100% of their questions. I'm one of the few. And so I will do my best to answer what you have. I mean, I only can write so much. Sometimes the answer is something where I'm going to recommend that you buy the book and read about it. I also ask that you subscribe to my channel, click the bell notification so that every time I come out with a new video, you'll be able to watch it. And like I say, I cover a huge amount of topics. I also have 250 videos that I've already done. And so you can go back through my catalog of videos on YouTube. I'm sure there'll be many videos there that you'll want to take a look at, especially if you have any interest in gold or platinum, diamonds, gemstones, geology, and that sort of stuff. My YouTube site is going to be right up your alley. So I'll see you again real soon. We'll be out in the field and back in the office at the whiteboard, and whether we're looking at gold or platinum, diamonds, gemstones, or other interesting geology, it's going to be fun. You're going to enjoy it, and we'll see you again real soon.